You sure? You sure? Get a. Well, get you a chair. I mean, we just gonna put you a chair.
She's like, I will fall flat out. This feels really close. Is this right? Does that feel really close?
Really?
Look, that's 3 of us in a row right here.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. I know that we sent out a press release in the wee hours of the morning, late at night, particularly addressing the gun referendum that we were seeking to put on the ballot. But I do want to thank the members of the community for being here, our staff, the other council members, and Representative Justin Pearson, and members of the media. But I just want to walk down some of the facts, because there's many people talking about this particular issue. A lot of them are mistaken or just completely wrong. So on July 23rd, 2024, this duly elected body passed referendum ordinance number 5908 on July 23rd. Thereafter, on August 6th, myself, as the chairman of the Memphis City Council, signed the ordinance. On August 16th, the mayor of Memphis signed the ordinance. Shortly thereafter, members of our staff walked it over and proffered it to the Election Commission. Generally speaking, the council complied with all laws of the state of Tennessee. What that means is we did everything we're supposed to do. There's some folks talking about this is unconstitutional, but clearly the folks has not read the Constitution itself. But let me just get to the point. There was a particular gentleman, I won't address him by name or title, because it's not important. Because when we take our titles off, we're just people. And the people of Memphis have been very clear about certain things. If you poll the issues in our communities, they will tell you this: crime is the #1 issue. When they talk about crime, they're talking particularly about gun violence. And when I took a duty to uphold the laws of this state and uphold the laws of the city of Memphis, the duty I take before any of those is to do right by people. And what I know to be true is our communities are suffering with crime. And as elected officials, we have a responsibility to put people in a better position. We are supposed to provide for the general welfare of all people. And we're doing everything in our power to keep people safe. When we do everything in our power to keep people safe, we keep running into this hurdle. We keep running into this barrier, talking about, well, there's so many guns in our community. Gun crimes are going through the roof. You know, this body elected to increase salaries for police officers because we want our people to be safe. We elected to implement intervention programs because we want our people to be safe. We've done everything in our power except take guns off the street. I'm not talking about all guns. What we're particularly talking about is guns in the hands of people who don't deserve them, guns in the hands of people who are committing violent crime. And there's some talk about taking money from the city of Memphis if we put something on the ballot. It's strange coming from their group because 40% of our budget goes to law enforcement. And this is supposed to be a party who supports law enforcement. Instead, what they're telling the people of Memphis, they want us dead and they also want us in poverty. Now that's tough. That's tough for me to take because this is a community that I choose to call home every single day. And I will not sit idly by while they continue to devastate our community and intentionally put guns in the street. And I just have a hard time dealing or hearing type of rhetoric they're going to take money from the city of Memphis. And I'm going to say this, and I mean it, and I mean it with every ounce of me. We won't back down, and we damn sure won't be bullied. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to give the floor up to some of the other council members. Earlier today, look at the time before I get it wrong, around 10:20, we filed a lawsuit against the Shelby County Election Commission. And it's not because it's protecting the council's authorities, because that's, the titles come and go. It's because the people of Memphis have spoken. The law enforcement community has spoken. Democrats in Shelby County have spoken. Republicans in Shelby County have spoken. My job is to protect and support the people who call 901 home. And that's what I'm gonna do. And that's what this council is gonna do. We're gonna fight every single day for every single person who calls this community home. With that, I will turn it over to Councilwoman Jerry Green.
I'm a little shorter than you. It's good to see some friendly faces out there in the audience today. Those of you who know me know that I have been in this fight for common sense gun legislation for many, many years, because this is not just political, it is personal. I've had gun violence impact my life 3 times, including the murder of my very best friend. And when you have experienced tragedy that is that personal, you know that action must be taken. But this isn't just about us, as Chairman Smiley said. Memphis has been shot and is bleeding out. And so I would like to remind the supermajority in Nashville that what they're doing is against their stated values. There is nothing patriotic about refusing to let citizens use their voices in the voting booth. There is nothing pro-life about flooding our streets with weapons of war. There is nothing that shows you back the blue when you refuse to support basic safety measures that they have begged you to pass. There is nothing that shows you support small government and local control by stepping in and telling a community that you know what's best for them. There is nothing that shows you support veterans who are dying by gun suicides every day in our community, and yet you refuse to allow emergency protection orders that would possibly prevent them from taking their own lives. There is nothing Christian in threatening to withhold funding from the most impoverished citizens in our state, resources that would get them basic necessities like housing and safety. There is nothing that shows you are the party of freedom when you use your naked coercion to remove from the ballot a publicly supported referendum. Let me also remind that supermajority that there is another supermajority in this state, one that wants gun violence to stop, one that is ready for basic measures like the ones we have on these referendums to be enacted. Check the numbers. Most Tennesseans support every single thing we have put forward, and not by a slim margin. And that includes, in this ruby red state, Democrats and Republicans. It includes gun owners. It includes card-carrying NRA members. So for me and my city, we stand ready to build on our history of struggling for people's rights, because we know faith without works is dead, and we are ready to roll up our sleeves and do the work. And here in Memphis, as the chairman said, we have not once backed down from a fight. Because as Zebo once famously said, where I'm from, bullies get bullied. One more reminder, this is for everyone voting this November, and I hope everyone is voting this November, that whether these referendums make it through the courts and on the ballots or not, common sense is on the ballot. Compassion is on the ballot. Leadership is on the ballot. And that is Tennessee values. That is Memphis values. And I hope everyone votes accordingly.
Yes. Amen to that. I feel that we have a legal and civic obligation to adhere to the cries of our community. They are crying for stronger safety measures for our children. They want to feel safe in their schools, in their communities, and it is our obligation to adhere to that. We are simply proposing stronger measures that will ban unpermitted handguns. We're asking to restrict assault rifles. And we believe that we should implement some type of red flag law. Carrying a gun shouldn't be as easy as buying tennis shoes. We want to listen to the people. It must stop today. And it is common sense. And as a council, we will not be held hostage. And we will not be threatened by stealing our local tax dollars. We stand together and we stand for the people.
Good afternoon. So the question for today is, why do you want us to not be safe? Why do you want us to be poor? Why do you want to break this community down? Because where we are with this gun violence and these ridiculous laws, we cannot sustain like this. So we have to take a stand on behalf of our governance independence. And this is what this is about today. We are taking a stand on behalf of our governance independence. We don't want to do this. We hated that it came to this, whereby we had to file a lawsuit. The only thing that will get certain folks' attention, this is where we are. How many years after the assassination of Dr. King? 56 years, and we dealing with something like this? This is highly disrespectful. This is not what he was about. This is not what the community is about, and this is not what this council is about. And I'm just asking the question, why do you want us to be unsafe, and why do you want us to be so poor? I'm absolutely nauseous over this. It is so hypocritical that they want us to just cow down, what's that old school term? Cow down, cowtown. But they want us to just take this and not say anything, not do anything. This has ripped something through our community that we may not be able to repair, but there is hope, and we're gonna fight this. And yes, we needed to file the lawsuit. The lawsuit was very much necessary. But it seems no matter how hard we are working to make this community safe and viable and prosperous, at every turn, something is coming along to take that away, to demise that. And it's not moral. It's not democratic. It's not American. And how hypocritical this is when you think about the home rule. So you don't want others, the state doesn't want the feds in their business, and they don't want us telling them what to do, but they want to tell us what to do. sidebar here, and this goes even with the attacks against Mulroy and so many other things that are happening. Enough is enough. So what is the motive? Why do you want us to be unsafe? And why do you want us to be so poor? Thank you.
As I look into this audience, and I've heard my colleagues speak, passion, we're not giving up, I think of a sharecropper tactic that they're using in Nashville. And then they changed it, the race in the middle of the game. We're not going to be threatened. A year ago, I was in a drive-by shooting where I had to face the concrete and kiss it and pray to the Almighty Yahweh, the creator of heaven and earth, that we live. Just have mercy on us. 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm kissing the concrete, praying and asking God, if you just let me live, I'll fight. I'll fight until my last breath. I'll fight for those that don't have a voice. I'll fight for those that do have a voice, but you decide not to listen. We will not be threatened. We will not be threatened. Every night I have to go to bed for the last year and think about what if something would have happened to me and the newscaster. So we're going to fight, and we're going to fight like hell, and we ain't going to stop. You want blood? That's what we'll give you. You're going to bleed just like us. We're tired. Memphis is a thriving city. It's an amazing city. On November the 7th of 2023, the Kojic Church of God in Christ had their convention here. And there was so many shootings and killings that took place during that time. But Governor Lee was here as well as one of their speakers. And he said something to the Kojic convention, and he said it on the news. Hope wasn't enough. Okay. You need to strategize. So what you think we doing? We got a strategy here. This is our strategy. You told us hope wasn't enough. You told us to strategize, to come up with a plan. And then you send your goons. Then you send your goons. We will not stop fighting for this city. We will not stop fighting for our children's lives. These are babies that are toting these guns and that have these guns. These are children. These are brown children that look like me. And so I stand in solidarity with my colleagues. And I promised the constituents of Memphis when I ran and the voters that I wasn't scared. So that's why I'm here on this walker. I ain't scared and no stopping.
Some days serving on this council has been tough, but not this one. What startles me is this. They tell us that they want to put more guns in our community, but yet they threaten to take our resources we need for our law enforcement officers. That's wild to me. And I have a hard time living in a place where guns have more right than women. It's disrespectful. But we're not just standing here as a council unified, meaning all 13 members of this body agreed for this to happen. We're not just standing here as elected members, we're standing here for the people. And the people have showed up here today. And, I think I would be doing the people a disservice if I didn't give an opportunity for one of their other elected representatives who don't represent the Memphis City Council at all to have an opportunity to come say a few words. Representative Pearson.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Memphis City Council. Look, the racist, reckless actions of the Tennessee General Assembly are not new. This is ridiculous that Cameron Sexton and Rand Mcnally threatened to take sales tax revenue away from our city if these referendums are on the ballot. That's illegal. But then it is also completely misunderstanding about the separation of powers for the governor to have his Secretary of State send notice to our election commission that something that was passed by this body would not be on the ballot. This is a part of a racist history of our legislatures and of our state, where Republicans continue to believe that cities that are run by Black folk or Black majority areas do not deserve the right to govern themselves. We've seen this. I've been expelled from the State House fighting against gun safety. The Tennessee State University's board was vacated and its president was pushed out. Mason had its charter nearly taken over by Jason Mumpower. Mason's still trying to get access to resources right now in the fight against Blue Oval. And now we are seeing again our majority Black city being threatened, told that you better do what we tell you to do. You better submit to us, or you're going to lose over $60 million in revenue. Y'all, this is a tactic that's old as race is old in this country. It is not new what we are experiencing, but what I will say is it's a new Memphis that just showed up. And this city council is a new city council. And the way that they are fighting on behalf of all 600,000 of us is new. And it needs to be on notice for all of those who seek to silence us into submission, who seek to force the issue of gun violence to go into the annals of history instead of to do things that are actionable, and instead put their cowardice and their weakness on display by threatening our city instead of doing all that they can in their power to actually pass meaningful gun laws that would have extreme risk protection orders, that would ban assault weapons, that would make sure that people had a permit in order to be able to carry a firearm. Common sense stuff that over 71% of people, including, as was alluded to, MAGA Republicans in our state want to see happen. But instead of taking action on the issue, we get threats. Like, this is what the consistent slide toward authoritarianism looks like, y'all. This is why I'm terrified about our state General Assembly. Because if we lived in Russia or in North Korea, this would all make sense. But this America, and we're being told that we can lose money. We're being told that they're going to try and pass laws to attack us for saying we deserve to be safe, for saying we've been to too many funerals. I had to bury my classmate, my mentor, had to bury my cousin. Like, how many more funerals we got to go to? And so I am angry, but righteously indignant in partnership and in relationship with this city council, who says, as somebody running for president, saying, we're not going back. We're not going back to silence. We're not going back to perpetuation of gun violence without fighting back. We're not going back to threats being enough to stop us from doing what is just and what is right. We're not going back. And so to the chairman and to this amazing city council, that's the first majority woman city council, just want to put that out there in history. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your fight. And we are in District 86. We're ready to fight right alongside you. Thank you.
Thank you.
As every person here said, a copy of this will be made public to you all, and let's fight. I know Bill Drees wants some questions, so we'll stand ready to answer a couple questions, but it's a battle. I have a sneaky suspicion that it's 12:33 that Attorney Alan Wade is at the courthouse handling their business of the people. How did the council come to the decision? No decision. As chair of the Memphis City Council, this body duly passed ordinance, and we're in between meetings. And as chairman of the council, I have the authority to take certain action if we don't have a time to deliberate. I took action to protect what is a rightful power that's been duly given to this body. I will fight for this council. I will fight for the people of Memphis every chance I get. Oh, we'll be in court before then. I anticipate us being in court as early as next week. We will be in court, and I hope they bring their lawyer because we got a good one, the best. Well, my mom would probably slap me if I said what was actually on my mind. Shout out to Jackie Smiley. But I would say it this way. I'm gonna tell you what was on my mind. They chose the wrong city. They chose the wrong council. Because when I had the opportunity to serve as chair, I'm giving a speech on January 1st. I said, this is a new council. We will move differently. We will listen to more people. We engage more people. If you just look at our body, you have our Republican colleagues, they support this. We have our Democratic colleagues, they support this. The moderate council members, they support this. When I think about, how we view this, it just shows the wrong group. And I wanted to say this when I was talking, but we shouldn't be the only city. Cities across this country should be filing lawsuits to protect their people. Until we do this, they're going to continue to put guns in our community. They're going to continue to threaten to take revenue from us. So essentially, they're going to do defund police, increase crime, and allow us to die. That's not a recipe for success. We have to file suit every city across this country until they're willing to hear us. Enough is enough with gun violence across this country. They were afraid before we even started.
Yeah.
They know. They seen the data. They run polls. We run polls. They know that over 70% of Tennesseans want gun reform. They don't care. They know that the law enforcement community want gun reform. They don't care. They know that people in Shelby County are suffering. They don't care. They know we need our resources. They don't care. The moral of the story is they don't care, but we do. Oh, it's real simple. It's real simple. The Shelby County Election Commission is the entity that made a direct act. And, I would phrase it differently, and Alan Wade to be mad about it. They made a direct attack against this council's authority and the will of the people. They don't have the ability to do that. They take orders. They take orders from us. Well, the state has the right to intervene if they so choose. And quite frankly, I really don't care what they do. My job is to advocate for people who call 901 home, and that's the way that my advocacy is set up. I'm gonna advocate for the people who put me in this office. I'm gonna advocate for the city of Memphis. I'm gonna advocate for Shelby County because that's where I reside. They do what they wanna do. They decided without taking a vote. Is that what you said? They made a decision without taking a vote. So you saying they violate the Open Meetings Act? I know. They have. They did.
You have to ask them.
You don't know because they didn't have a public meeting. They made decisions without having a public meeting. Now what's going to happen is they're going to say, oh, let's go have a meeting. Okay. No.
Is there a higher, better use of taxpayer dollars than saving lives? I don't think so.
It's easy for me, what she said and what she said. They got it. I got some good ones beside me, I promise you that. If you notice one thing, I don't have to necessarily say anything because they're saying it already. This council is unified. And we're not unified because we believe we're right. We're unified because the people are telling us we're right. We're unified because, trust me, we've tried everything. We've met with activists and say, hey, this is the best way to do it. Let's put money in intervention. Let's give more money to mental health resources. Let's, some of the more conservative folks, let's put more money in law enforcement. Let's increase the law enforcement pay. When we've done everything we can, the only option we have is to file suit so we can take guns out of these communities. Proliferation of gun violence, high poverty. Come on, y'all. Thank you. Oh. Have you took- Oh, sorry, supposed to be making an announcement. My other boss, I have a lot of them, Brooke Hyman, who's the CEO of our office now, I'm gonna get in trouble again. She said if you want a copy of the lawsuit, you go through legal, which is, what she said, I listened to her. See, somebody said trust women. Oh, so if you want a copy of the lawsuit that was filed, other than getting it from the courts, you have to go through the legal office and make a request, a public information request. That's all.